Hey there, I'm the real Jason Duncan. It is an honor to work with you. You are a professional salesperson who just wants to get better, and it's an honor that you tune in every week to watch these Friday Sales Tips. I'm honored. Thank you very much. And if you and I haven't connected on LinkedIn or Instagram, would you reach out to me at the real Jason Duncan and just say, hey, I'm watching your videos. I love them. Thank you for doing it. It's making me close more deals, make more money. I would love to hear from you. So if you haven't reached out to me, please do that. I would be happy to do that. I'm in the middle of a series called, actually I'm close to the end. I'm in this is step 5 of 6. We're doing the 6 steps to success in selling. And I'm going through these based on the concept of the Challenger Sale by Matthew Dixon and Brent Adamson, who wrote the book, The Challenger Sale, back in the mid-2010s. And they studied 6,000 salespeople over 90 different companies and I think 15 different industries. And they discovered there were 5 types of salespeople. There was the relationship builder, there was the reactive problem solver, there was the hard worker, there was the lone wolf, and then there was this thing they referred to as the Challenger rep. And the Challenger rep, as they discovered, outperformed other reps 2 to 1. And what I do is I take that content and I teach salespeople just like you every day and entrepreneurs just like you every day to perform at a higher level, to close more deals and to make more money using the concepts that I learned in the Challenger Sale based on my, and couple that with the 25 plus years of experience I've got as a professional salesperson who has sold millions and millions of dollars worth of products and services. So that's what this Friday Sales Tip video, these videos are all about, and I appreciate you being here and watching it. So we're on step 5. But I want to do a quick review. Remember, I am a former school teacher, and so I understand that students learn 1 of 3 ways, either visually, auditorily, or kinesthetically. And no matter which way you learn, I'm giving you all 3 ways to learn it. So visually, we can go through the steps. So this is step 1. There's step 2. There's step 3. And there's step 4. Now, of course, those visuals just showed up without the words. So what, do you remember what step 1? Let's go back to step 1, editors. My editors are helping me out. Go to step 1 right there, just the visual. What is that? Well, you can't remember yet? Well, what about this? Does this help? Does this help? The little finger shaking? It's the warmer. That's right, it's the warmer. And this is where you as a sales rep, as a Challenger rep, you're actually warming the prospect up to you as the expert. You're letting them see you as the expert who can help. All right, here's the image for step 2, just the image. What do you see there? You see a pair of glasses. And step 2, if you did kinesthetically, you could point at your eyeballs and point out. That's the reframe. That's right, it's the reframe. The reframe is where you reframe the conversation around the actual benefit of what you're selling rather than what the prospect thinks that you're going to be talking about. What's step 3? Here's the visual. You remember what that is? Yeah, that step 3, there's a brain, right? And so what if I put 3 fingers above my head? Looks like I'm drowning, like the old Bugs Bunny cartoon. If you haven't watched that video, you got to go back and watch it. But this rational journaling is all about the numbers. It's making them feel like they're missing out on something, like there's a risk they've been exposed to they didn't know about, they're wasting money. Step 4, here's the image for step 4. It's the happy and sad faces, the theater faces, and if you did your little 4 fingers as one of the clappers in the theater, like action, that helps you remember that this is emotional impact. It's about bringing the emotions into the story because emotions are what drives decisions and logic backs them up. So here we are in step 5, and so you can see step 5 here looks like a check mark, but that check mark is shaped like a V. And if you hold up all 5 fingers, that's the we did 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're all 5. And I'm going to ask you this question: what's the Roman numeral for 5? It's V, right? And that check mark that we show you image on the screen, that also looks like a V, and that stands for value proposition. So as a Challenger rep, you've got to go through all the steps: the warmer, the reframe, the rational drowning, the emotional impact, before you get to the value proposition. You see, lots of salespeople and lots of sales trainers, they'll teach you, well, you got to be strong in the value proposition. The value prop's got to be strong. And certainly it does have to be, but you know what? Your prospect doesn't care about the value proposition until you've warmed them up, until you've reframed the conversation, until you've got the rational drowning taking place and the emotional impact. Now you've prepped the situation. You've laid the foundation where you actually can dive into what the value proposition is. Now let's pretend for a moment that you sell swimming pools, and that's your value proposition is not the pool itself. The value proposition is what's the value of having the pool. right? The hole in the ground with water in it isn't the value. What the value is the time you get to relax in the pool with neighbors or friends or family members or kids or grandkids or nieces and nephews or your wife or your husband or your parents. That is the value proposition. Now remember, this value proposition isn't about you, it's about the value prop that you're proposing for the thing that you're going to be selling, that you're going to be talking about. So if it's pools, you say, hey, let's talk about the actual way to solve the rational drowning we talked about, to solve the emotional impact. Let's talk about that right now. And this is when you position the product or service. This is the first time the actual product or service is talked about in the sales process. And you talk about what that actual product does, not your product, but the product or the service, and say, look at the time it's going to give you with your family. Look at the lifestyle that you're going to live in your backyard with this pool. And you might not sell pools. Maybe it's real estate. Maybe it's precious gems, or maybe it's gym memberships for health, for people that want to be more healthy and in better shape. You've got to sell the value proposition, not your solution, but the value proposition, which is the solution, but not your solution, right? Do you kind of see the difference? So we're going to talk about that in step 6. But the value proposition, as illustrated by this check mark that looks like a V, or if you hold up 5 fingers, and you remember this is the 5th step, and the Roman numeral 5 is a V, value proposition. That's the place in the 6 steps of success in selling where you actually start talking about the value proposition. Now, if you show up at the sales call and the first thing you start talking about is how great your company is and what you're offering, that's why you're not selling. That's why you're not closing. That's why you're not making the money you want to make. If you want to be a more successful salesperson, you've got to be a challenger rep, and you've got to go through these steps. You've got to go through step 1, the warmer, step 2, the reframe, step 3, rational drowning, step 4, emotional impact, and step 5, the value proposition. Next week, we're going to go over the final step of the 6 steps to success in selling. And we're going to pull all of your entire sales process together into this one final pitch where you're going to close more deals and make more money. Thank you for tuning in this week. I'm the real Jason Duncan. I'll see you next Friday. And until then, remember, Jesus is King.